Hello, hello. It's been a while. How is everyone doing today? I'm just going to do a quick tech check, just making sure that everything is all good. Sorry for the delay. We've had a few tech issues as we are live. I mean, it is proof that we do go live. So just making sure that all is well. So hopefully everyone is having a fantastic start to their spring season. I'm your host, Claire. I'm the digital marketing specialist here at Chromia. So I'm just going to check in with the team to make sure that we are all good. And yeah, hopefully you can share some questions with regards to the topic today. When we are meeting the Chromia team, we're going to have some interesting questions to get started on. So I'm just going to quickly check to make sure that everything is all well. With regards to the topic today. All right, I can hear myself. There we go. Okay, so let's get started. Again, hi everyone. It's been a while. My name's Claire. I'm your host today, Chromia's digital marketing specialist. So welcome back to a new AMA with our very own Chromia guests. We'll be discussing our new demo app called Social Agents, where we bring a new utility to NFTs. Today we'll be talking with Alex. So let's bring up Alex and also Eleanor. So you're currently muted at the moment, but I am just going to introduce the both of you. So Alex, co-founder and CTO of Chromia, and Eleanor, product owner of Social Agents Demo App. How are you both doing today?
Great. Thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. I'm having a fantastic day. The sun is shining. The sky is blue here in London. So everyone is happy. And if everyone's happy, I'm happy. Alex, let's get started. What inspired the concept of social agents? How did the idea of NFTs with relationships and personality come about?
Yeah, I'd like to give some context. Before we get to personality, I think we first wanted this concept. We started thinking about it a while ago, like more than a year ago, and the goal was to demonstrate Chromia as a data layer. So Chromia, besides building new dApps directly on Chromia, it's possible to use it as a kind of like data layer for dApps for applications which already exist. On other chains, like for example, if talking on other chain, its data can be on Chromia. And we were thinking, okay, what would be the best way to demonstrate it? And I think NFT, like particularly for making something like user visible demonstration where people can literally see how it works. And I think like NFT is like best demonstration of data layer for several reasons. One is that like NFT data, it's kind of like there is no great standards for how NFT data is handled. When people want to be dynamic, they sometimes host it on, let's say, Ethereum, but it's really problematic to construct dynamic data on EVM because like it's not really designed for this. Then there is option to store it on IPFS, but it's not on chain and it's not dynamic. It will be static. Then the new NFT cannot evolve. So there is no like great solution, and we thought, okay, like this means that this great niche for Chromia to be, because like we are particularly good at managing dynamic data. So we thought, okay, like NFT is something like which uniquely blockchain oriented, like a Web3, because like if you talk about managing data for a user, they will be like, if it's like a file, for example, they will ask, okay, how is it different than my Google Drive? I have files on Google Drive. What is benefit of like blockchain? But for NFT, people associate it specifically with Web3, so it's clearly kind of managing data in Web3 context. So we thought about making the Chromia kind of data layer, kind of shared data layer between different apps, and particularly last year, I think NFT, AI was really like taking off last year, and basically that's when we started kind of like thinking that direction to like focus this demo on AI, basically using NFT as AI agent, and in the last quarter, March, we released like Mimir upgrade, which adds many AI capabilities to Chromia. So we thought, okay, this is like great opportunity to release this demo to really demonstrate our AI features, and particularly with relations. Like one of aspects is like it's not just kind of NFT data, it's relations between different NFTs. So I think like some inspiration for that comes from like the relational databases, like the Chromia relational blockchain. So we thought, okay, like good way to demonstrate is to manage kind of relations between NFTs, not just kind of single player because like you can always, much easier to manage something for a single kind of like single type of object. Like you can just associate some data with NFT, but it's just it's just like a file basically. But like if it's something which is shared between multiple object, like multiple NFTs having a relationship, having this dialogue, that would be more like creates a need for this shared layer. So that's basically where we got this idea.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think it's really cool to be able to see the examples of what we can do with Chromia for the tech and how AI is coming into play with it. It's been really exciting trialing and testing out the demo as well. I've had a lot of fun with my colleagues and the types of conversations that can be created through the demo dApp. So for those of you who haven't tried out the Social Agents demo dApp, I do encourage you to do so. Go and check out all of our social media channels. We are advertising and we'd love for you to share your conversations with us. So Elena, this project is your passion. It is an incredible thing that you've been working on for a little while now. Do you think social agents could help revive the NFT market? It's been a while. It's been a couple of years where we've been wanting the NFTs to make a comeback. Me, myself, I'm still holding on to quite a few NFTs. Please, let's revive this market. So we're counting on you, Elena. But tell us, do you think with this demo and with the possibilities that can come from social agents, do you think it's going to bring some new energy into the market?
So my answer is yes, absolutely. And that's why it's like, as you probably know, the price of NFT collection, each particular and like NFTs in general, it's highly depends on the attention, like how huge community, how much engagement inside of it. But once creators like have done one collection, it's pretty hard to create a new engagement, though like we know that I don't know, like Azuki, they do a lot of lures, Pudgy Penguin, they doing like some toys, mini games, but mostly you have to like mint new collections, build a lot of stuff, and it's not easy. So pretty much usual collections are just static. And here where Chromia comes in. So we give collections a tool to kind of create this additional engagement. Like social agents is already built, and it's easy for existing minted collections to be onboarded there. They can try it, see how it goes with their community. Do people like it? Also, it's just a beginning. So if they see that for their particular community, they need certain custom thing, they can tailor whatever solution needed for them, like Telegram games, some cross collections projects. It doesn't require like rewriting the contracts of already minted collections, and that's why it's pretty easy and open a lot of possibilities. And as you can see, like AI is pretty complex concepts, so Chromia can handle even this like the development up to this level of complexity. So yes, I 100% believe that it can bring a new life to existing collections, inspire new collections, and maybe be a catalysator to like bring in attention of people to NFT world in general.
Yeah, I think it's a great way to get people on board as well and have this interaction to bring NFTs to life. It's really cool to see how this is just the beginning. But let's go from a technical perspective. So Alex, you are our expert here. Could you break down how social agents work from a technical perspective?
Yeah, I think like the main basically point like Chromia is used to store the data. So particularly like personality data of AI as well as past chats are stored on chain, and like that's usually hard for other blockchains to do because like storing kind of like pretty significant amount of data text basically is something people avoid on Ethereum because of gas fees. Also, retrieval is problematic. Sort of like when you start a chat, you need like quickly, basically, like user expects some fast interaction. So we want all the past chats, like as well as personality of NFT to be retrieved very quickly, and that's where on Ethereum usually people when they like even store information on Ethereum, they have like a backup copy on the server for fast retrieval. So basically, Ethereum cannot directly serve users in that respect. So while people say decentralized applications, it's really often involves some kind of centralized server. But like in the Chromia directly, you get like when you open chat with NFT, you get directly information about this personality and so on directly from a node. Then like you can chat basically with it. That currently goes to external API providers, so it's not yet on Chromia. The results the user can like if user likes the chat, they can store result on chain. So social feed persona basically when owner of like NFT or like in the demo we decided to make it possible for anybody to pretend to be an owner, like adoption. Like can configure and like update personality result of the chat. Everything is stored on chain. There's also a feed is also managed fully on chain. So we have directly basically kind of like as like X but running on Chromia where like the NFT can make a post. So yeah, that's like the main focus of this demo was to kind of associate this kind of like data related to charts with NFTs and show how it is stored on chain. But yeah, we have of course like planning more stuff in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think what is really cool as well for people who are trying out the demo, you can share posts to your X with conversations and things like that. So I do encourage you to share the conversations, take screenshots. We'd love to see them. So from the NFT personalities and the chat features that you guys have built up so far, can you walk us through what's happening in the background when someone is talking to their NFT in the Social Agents demo deck?
Yeah, it's pretty much that basically how like AI generation works in general. That okay, like user selects this NFT. The context is selected from personality and past charts, and then external API server kind of generates continuation of the dialogue, and that is streamed to the user. And then user has then an option to post it further. And yes, that part basically just like as a preview, that part where like we use external service, it's something we want to replace. Like hopefully this quarter we will come up with Chromia's own AI service where we can close the loop and manage whole interaction on Chromia network.
Yeah, I think when it comes to a demo as well, it's smart to use something that is existing, see how the community react, and we do want to get everyone's feedback as well. So if you haven't shared your feedback already, anyone who's in the audience right now, please do. We want to hear what you think of it and your experience. So let's dig a little bit deeper. Alex, what kind of inference or learning could be possible in the future? So let's look ahead of the game. Are we heading towards a fully decentralized and autonomous NFT agent?
Yes, that should be possible on Chromia. I mean, we already have kind of like all components of the technology. We just kind of wiring it together for the public release. But yes, the idea that provide like network. So usually people do these things like using kind of third-party providers and only doing verification on the network, or like potential verification when we talk about OPML. But like on Chromia, we want the network itself to be able to serve directly AI inference, basically to create this kind of chat completions or any other kind of stuff, and be directly verified on chain. So it's not just possibly maybe verified data, but almost certainly verified data. Basically, part of blockchain verification will be also this kind of chat verification. Then, like the entire agent can be hosted inside the blockchain, and this actually opens a lot of possibilities for agent to interact with blockchains, because then it doesn't need like to manage private keys or anything like that. It can directly have a wallet and can directly kind of like interact in various ways. It can send like tokens, or maybe even mint tokens. We don't know. Like agents can do everything. And also, like I think on the other hand, we also we are the first network who have native vector database directly stored on the nodes. So that I think also can be kind of like great feature, because the vector database can serve as a agent's memory, and like it can be also like a shared space for different agents. Like we don't want, like I guess like one of limitations of the current demo is that agents have only that context in which you feed it. So if I want to ask it about what's going on right now, it doesn't know, because it only sees this kind of like previous interactions. But with vector database, like you usually don't want to feed everything which happened over the last year. That would be a lot. But with vector database, the whole kind of like point of vector database that it can select kind of items by topic. So for example, like we can upgrade this demo and make it, like it will be able to know like latest news, or like news about politics, news about Chromia. It can select pretty much by any kind of topic and retrieve all this kind of context and create basically discussion based on that. And there is, of course, many other opportunities. You can integrate all kind of knowledge bases. It can kind of like maybe like if you want to build scientific agent, it will be able to fetch scientific data using this vector embeddings. And all these parts, like basically we are not providing just, we just provide tokens, we just provide some kind of like persistence. We will provide pretty much entire stack in this case. We will have inference on the network. We will have vector database on the network, so fully integrated operations. If you want your agents to mint a meme coin, for example, that also will happen directly on the network without kind of many interactions.
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, my mind is already thinking of so many different angles that this could actually develop into. I know that this is purely a social engagement app at the moment, but I can imagine training my social agent with its own personality to maybe be my assistant, or to hype me up in the morning, or have this way of interaction to benefit my day-to-day. The opportunities are endless when it comes to how this can grow. So where the demo is right now is truly the base. But Elena, I'd love to talk to you about the experience. So what do you hope that people will take away from the social agents experience, whether they're trying the demo, or even if they're future thinking like we are right now? What do you want them to take away?
Well, currently, right now, first of all, I want them to have a lot of fun, to have the ability to express their creativities. Like I know like a lot of people used to love Sims or BitLife, where you can like design your own personage and then play with it. Like here you not just design the facial features, you can design what's inside of the brain of your PFP, and that's kind of cool. Other things is social features, as you mentioned, and I also saw people already trying it. I saw like some guy created a Pudgy penguin who is impersonate a Xi Jinping and post some provocative stuff. And like also like I can create some crazy ape, my bro can create other crazy ape, and we make them chat and see what happens. So it's also kind of fun. I being some, I don't know, like public person, can create my kind of avatar who will behave and answer as I like imagine this and represent me in the socials. Also could be fun. But first of all, I also was thinking that this is demo of Chromia. So here people can experience what is to iterate with DApp built on Chromia. Like it's easy log in, there is no gas fees, though a lot of iterations are stored on chain and transactions is going on chain, but there is no this competing transactions and delaying because of that. So you can imagine that even with like higher workload, it can be easily scaled up for more like active games.
Amazing. Yeah. So I know we've mentioned that this is just the beginning, and but I'd love to know, like, what do you think the next stage is? What potential next steps for social agents after this demo, after we've gathered all of the feedback as well? What do you imagine the social agents are developing into?
Well, first of all, what Alex is already mentioned, we want to integrate these latest technical extensions we have on Chromia, which is like on-chain AI, the AI inference. This is basically when we run model exactly on Chromia chain, and we don't have to rely on external centralized AI models, and also this PG vector. It can bring us quite a lot of different stuff, and that's where we want to come with a community-driven approach. So guys, I encourage you to go to our landing page or social agents. We have this leave feedback button here, and like whatever you want it to be in future, please write it, because really it can be a lot of things, a lot of ideas of monetization, for example, like you as a collector can purchase some boring ape and like evolve it into a sage ape with a lot of wise phrases in history, and you want to resell it, then you will resell it for much higher price because of this authentic like stuff and background it has now. And also it is possible to like create meme coins, and agents themselves can create these meme coins. And if people want more social integration, we can have some native integration with other social platform like X, or maybe Asian like WeChat. So really a lot of stuff can be done, and we want people input, and in general, like we want to test this approach, and if it goes well, we would like, and we would be happy to have it for future demos and features development in Chromia.
Awesome. Okay, so there's so many things going on. It's really cool to get to chat to you about this today. So I really want to connect the dots. So how if an NFT project sees this and they want to be added onto social agents, what do you think the next step is? How can they get plugged in to the existing demo right now?
Well, they first of all, they don't have to do anything themselves, any technical development. They can just approach us through any Chromia socials like Telegram, Discord, X, and our community managers will connect them with social agents team, and guys and I will be happy to onboard, do all technical stuff. Also, we can chat about the feedback, and if these creators want to do something custom, we can also discuss what is easy to build on Chromia, how can we assist, all these technical questions we are looking forward to answer.
Incredible. So for those of you who are just joining here today, we are discussing Social Agents, Chromia's demo dApp. Alex, would you be able to share with the audience right now? The demo shows one way that Chromia can act as an enhancement or support layer for existing Ethereum projects. What are some other potential examples beyond NFTs?
Well, we have I think Ethereum, potentially Chromia can integrate with any network. But we want to focus on something basically. And we have Ethereum interop framework, and it acts as bidirectional bridge. It can both take data from Ethereum and submit data to Ethereum. So basically, there are really a lot of ways you can integrate. For example, we also have developed another kind of demo, but it's not so much demo. Maybe it's open source library for governance, so you can import, for example, if you have a list of you have a token on EVM or any EVM chain. Currently, Chromia supports maybe 3 or 4: Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain. Okay, I'm not sure. Base, I guess. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember which exact, but yeah, we added more of them all the time. So yeah, it can import essentially current list of holders. It includes maybe if you have staking contract, it can import list of stakers. It can then you can run your if you want a kind of governance process with voting and so on, and it's fully customizable. Can maybe can be used for reward program, but really any basically. It can replace a existing indexing solution because it can import all events. So if you want to import trading events, anything like that, it's possible. And sometimes it's even maybe doesn't even require data import because maybe you can already set up your project and import your data. Chromia can directly serve HTTP data. So basically, with regular blockchains, you kind of need some kind of intermediary API, RPC server, some other kind of service to store data. That's not the case with Chromia. Chromia there can directly supply information to web browser or any other kind of client. So it's possibilities are pretty much endless. Anything, I guess, I would say it's everything in information technology is centered around data, and Chromia is pretty good at managing data, basically being a relational database. So yeah, it's endless possibilities. But yeah, if you want to see concrete example besides NFTs, that would be our governance demo, simplest example of this integration.
Fantastic. Okay, so I want to loop back around to Eleanor one moment, because you mentioned that you saw a provocative conversation that was being had. So, okay, what has been your favorite social agent interaction so far? Any surprisingly deep or hilarious moments, or do you want to dig a little bit deeper into one of the provocative conversations that you saw?
Well, in my personal chats, I once chatted with one CryptoPunk, and I told him he is an NFT, and he got really offended, was answering me very angry.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, was another moment. when I was testing it, and I created two personages, and I like initiate conversation, save it, then initiate conversation, save it, and they had memories of these previous scenes, and I was like, wait a moment, it's not like just chatting up, it's kind of a storytelling tool, because I saw that I'm sitting here and creating fantasy story together with this AI. So I just create a setup for certain skin, and they like generating something based on their personalities, and that was a bit of wow moment. Was really cool, and I understood that now, even with this pretty basic functionality, because it's just an MVP, it already kind of cool, and it can be much more interesting. So I understood that, like, maybe at this moment we the developers don't understand the whole potential, and maybe that's where our community can come with some creative ideas, and we will be just doing what requested. Claire, you're mute.
Oh, sorry. So when it comes to the demo app, it really, we are just seeing the beginning. And I think it could be an amazing tool to have for the storytelling, as you mentioned. But even say, for instance, if someone is doing role play in online games, or if they're building a story for a movie or these sorts of things, and they want to test out how two different types of personalities would respond in a certain situation or scenario, this could be a really cool tool to use, whether you're doing it professionally or in school. So it's a fun tool to use, and I'm excited to see what people are generating. So we're going to move on to some community questions. Is it possible to synthesize NFTs? So synthesize 2 to 3 NFTs from an EVM and then generate it onto Chromia, which does not require the cross-chain, but will produce a new NFT.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, we have not implemented in the demo because, like, we wanted it to be very focused, but it's actually one of things we consider to make synthetic NFTs. Or, like, I think another cool idea that we had, but we never kind of like got to implementing, is to kind of like make NFT breeding kind of cross collection, because like the very original NFT project, cat, don't remember, crypto cats, crypto kittens, they had this breeding program, but it was like customized just for this collection, and at that point it was like really breakthrough. But now, like, you can only get a cat, and you only can get a cat from like fixed. It gets boring after some time. But like now we have AI, right? So AI kind of like can operate with like really vast kind of like state spaces. Sort of, the number of states can be like bigger than a number of possible, like states in our universe, basically. Then you can have you ever wondered what would be like if you breed like an offspring of like Bored Ape, of CryptoPunk? How would it look like? How would it behave? I think this kind of like breeding, like personally, because like just generating NFTs, like it can be very it can dilute the market a lot, because like you can just generate billions of them, right? That they won't have any value. But I think if you have to create from this market to maintain value, it might be really interesting to have like a very scarce resource. So you can only kind of like breed them once in a while, but like you need to be creative, and they will maybe have a backstory. Their offspring will have a backstory. That can be a lot more interesting for storytelling. But as for technical possibility works, of course, it's possible to mint directly NFTs on Chromia, and to import them, or like to represent Chromia NFTs on other networks. All these things are possible. We just we will open source probably all the libraries like that, and we will make it easy for people to start projects like this. But yeah, like personally, I'd say like do not just generate lots of NFTs, like make something, where it's really hard, but like, when it's a hard process to really get them, basically, but then you get something unique in the end, and like you can really show, like, I think like one of like areas where NFTs are really interesting is provenance, way, because you can trace, origin of something to the start. But currently it's just like, minting contract. But imagine like you can show origin as sort of like this NFTs was offspring of this and this in such and such conditions, and you can trace it even back, like who were like ancestors and so on. And then your NFTs really has like really provenance.
Yeah, I mean, this is really taking us back to the beginning of NFTs. And I love this full circle moment, but with the twist of AI, with the advanced tech that is finally in our hands. So let's move on to the second question, though. Will Chromia create an AI model to power the social agents DApp?
Well, like training model from scratch is very expensive and usually unnecessary, but like we are researching, like there are many ways to adapt like existing model to be working on some specific areas. So for example, you can take like open source like llama model or and like adapt it to like, okay, we want it to be like social agent, for example. There's also a way to create adapters for a model where you can like spend, like for example, you can like one area where you can customize responses with prompt, and you just kind of give model context, and it will kind of like accept it and start basically generating in that context. But like deeper level of customization is like, for example, there is like lower rank adapters which are relatively easy to train. It takes some time, but doable, and then it can really be unique, sort of. It not so much acts as an agent which is told to basically do something, but like it can be like really an agent which really accepts that personality. And like for example, like Anthropic, they created a version of Claude which like obsessed with Golden Bridge in San Francisco, so it can only talk about that. So even if it tries to tell some other story, it always kind of, it finds a metaphor with Golden Bridge, finds some way it's connected. It was like really fun. And yeah, I think like on Chromia we're kind of exploring these options where people will be able to run maybe these adapters for like base model where like you can adapt it to serve a very particular purpose, or like it can be like maybe vector DB can be connected to this and like serve as kind of customization layer using vectors. So yeah, we definitely research in these areas where like basically we will train some kind of like custom models specifically once we like if you see a lot of interest in this area, basically.
You know what? What would be really cool, and this is only just a suggestion, but imagine if we have like the team's voices as the NFTs, and then we have these conversations as actual voices. Like that would be hilarious. And you can obviously develop it through AI, but imagine myself and Alex and you, Elena, like being able to have this conversation through these NFTs with our personalities and our voices. That would be hilarious. Is it possible to have a full-blown social media app for NFTs? So not only just static highlighting things that are happening to them, but what about maturing interactions with Chromia Vector Database?
Yeah, basically that's like we thought about something like that in our next step. I think in general, kind of social media is a good application. Like that's basically when we started Chromia basically a while ago. Like one of possible use cases was social media, because like it's something which people want, and currently with a lot of like centralized media there are all sorts of problems. So yeah, we think it might be very interesting to have the social network where like can be NFT combined with people, and yeah, like fully like where they can really be like currently in this demo, like like people have to trigger interactions, and of course like because we wanted to demonstrate basically that activity, but that's by no means like once we integrate for example this AI inference on chain, it will be by no means necessary. So it will be possible for basically NFTs and like different agents to have fully their own, network and really, like have kind of the complex interactions, maybe like group interactions, have social dynamics. There are some research projects like that, which I think like produced exciting results. But yes, they were static. I think like usually people just ran them for some time and they were shut down. Basically, you can explore them, like what happened, but like it's closed. But like on Chromia, we can run as open-ended, sort of like you can observe, like village of NFTs, sort of like interacting with each other. The people will be able to observe and interact with it, sort of like okay, like when they interact and when it's not just like you kind of like talking with them, but like they kind of evolving on their own. It might be more interesting to kind of introduce some intervention, try to interact with them. So I think that, like, I guess blockchain might be a good way to monetize it because inference it's not cheap basically, and I think like here's where like we can align sort of like usually like the person who pays, they set up the agenda, and like that's a problem for like all kinds of social media, like because like you have a lot of clickbait because people kind of earn only when something is like overhyped. But here, like we will be able to have like maybe like if users pay for basically interaction, for example, like if they want something to happen, if they see it entertaining, that would be like more natural, I think, a way to kind of create ongoing social experiment involving AIs.
Amazing. Okay. Yes, Elena.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that this may be not only some long distant development, but some of these can be done even in the next iteration of social agents, because once we integrate PG vector, the operations with memory will be much easier. And like right now, I created some personage and it has memory of chat with me. But after this, it will be possible that I created it and let it go and play with other people and NFTs. And several days after, I come and ask, so my guy, how are you have been doing here? Like, was any interesting conversations? And it will have this memory, and maybe also with adding just simple events by cron, it will really act like an agent, initiate conversation with other people and NFTs itself, and maybe do some request for news into like web. So when I will come to chat with it, it will maybe say, hey, I read this news. I'm so upset. I've discussed it with that CryptoPunk and his opinion on this is that. And so it's really already will be kind of a social network where like human agents and AI will be like on par, on the same level.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So there's lots to come. It's really exciting to see social agents up and running in its demo form and what will come for the iterations in the future. Now I've got two things to cover before we do wrap this up. But while I am going through these two things for our audience, so one being talking about our grant program, and then also the chance to win a prize from the prize pool of $1,000 in CHR. I just want to ask Elena and Alex, as I wrap up, just for you to think about, if you can sum up social agents into one sentence, what would it be? So let me just go through the 2 points while we're here. So how can you get into in with the chance to win from the prize pool of $1,000 USD in CHR, and also be a part of our developer grant program? So if you're looking to test or deploy a DApp, whether you're an experienced developer or not, why not choose Chromia with a complimentary 6-month grant system? Our newly launched container grant program will cover 6 months of your mainnet hosting to build with Chromia's tools. So you may ask, what can you build? So you can think think of dApps or with isolated chains, decentralized AI agents, vector and relational data layers, and even EVM feature extensions, the possibilities are truly endless. The easiest way to get started is to start experimenting. So you can head over to our website and apply for your grant today. And now let's go forward with our giveaway to be in the chance of winning a portion of the prize pool of 1,000 USD in our very own CHR token. All you need to do is use the social agents demo and then have a very creative conversation between two agents. So for instance, you can instruct your NFT to write a poem, have a rap battle, talk in only riddles, for instance. Be creative. Would love to see it. Then all you need to do is share a screenshot to X in our live stream comments section. So you need to head over to X, leave a screenshot of your creative conversation in the live stream comments section. And then also, why not tag us at Chromia in the post as well. So just to recap, we have an amazing grant system that gives you 6 months complimentary mainnet hosting to build your Chromia's tools. And then also finally to be in the chance to win a portion of the prize pool of 1,000 USD in our very own CHR token. All you need to do is have a creative conversation between two agents and then share a screenshot of said conversation to our X live stream comments section below. Tag us, and we can't wait to see what you come up with. You have 72 hours to get this done. And I'll be choosing some incredibly creative discussions. So we will pick our favorites on Monday, but you only have 72 hours. So I want to say a huge thank you to our guests, Alex and Elena from Chromia. Thank you for joining me today to discuss Chromia's latest demo dApp social agent. So first of all, Elena, would you like to go ahead with this one sentence? How can you sum up social agents in just one sentence?
Well, for me, social agents is a dApp which can bring like static digit objects, NFTs, to live being, which can evolve and like have endless possibilities.
Amazing. And Alex, what about you?
I think like best summarized in 2 words: social agents. So that's by itself, I think it's very open-ended. Like humans can be described as social agents. So that's our level of ambition basically here.
Amazing. Yes, it is truly Chromia's social agent. So go ahead and try it out. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really do appreciate you guys. And thank you for hanging out with us in the audience as well. So thank you guys. And I will be able to close up just shortly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
You too. You too. All right, guys, what an amazing AMA. Gosh, the things that have been discussed, the possibilities for the future. I am truly excited to see what will come of social agents. But again, this is just the demo. This is just the beginning. Thank you guys for joining us today and hanging out with us. It has been a true pleasure to be back. Be sure to follow us all on social media across platforms. We've got even more platforms across as well. We are even on Reddit now. We're on YouTube. We're on Blue Sky. Go ahead and follow us across all the platforms. And if you want to be a part of the community, do join us on Discord and Telegram. That's where we have a lot of incredible discussions. Leave your feedback as well. And if you're ready to start using social agents, or if you want to start building with us and even get some tips, tricks for building on Chromia, head to our YouTube channel and also our website for more information. My name is Claire, and we will see you next time. Thank you, guys. You've got 72 hours. Go ahead and get joining on social agents. We can't wait to see your discussions. Have an amazing rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Bye, guys.